Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my weekly reading update, or where I should aptly name it, me gushing about the Lord of the Rings for however long has been all consuming this week. So let's talk about it. But before we do, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Channel's been popping off recently, and I appreciate everyone sticking around. But the Lord of the Rings, it has like I said, it's been all consuming. It's been basically the only thing I've been reading these past 2 weeks. I started the third book today, and this is how far I am into it. It doesn't look very far because there's an appendix at the back that's like almost 200 pages. So I think I'm about 45% of the way through book 3. I'm trying to take my time with them, but the first 8 chapters of this third book are unputdownable. I just made up that word, but it's a thing. If you've read it, you know. Yeah, it's just awesome. This first part thus far. Yes, but I didn't start with this book, obviously. This week I obviously finished The Two Towers. Sorry, this is a bit jumbled, but yeah, finished The Two Towers this week. This one was sort of, I don't know, each book obviously builds off one of another because they're a series. This book, what I liked much better than The Fellowship, but I am appreciating The Fellowship more now that I've read this book, and now that I am very much into The Return of the King. I like the slowness of The Fellowship and sort of the meandering and the less action-packed times. I savored those. I think similar in here, the adventures of Sam and Frodo. But yeah, where do I even begin? I don't know. I'm just enjoying reading this classic fantasy series. It's just a good series all throughout. I rated these 2 books 4 stars each, which is pretty good. Yeah, this book I think is much better, at least in my opinion. Maybe it's just because it's off to a fast start, but this is looking to be a 5-star read, 100%. Same with The Hobbit, so that's pretty good. Start and end a series with the prequel is The Hobbit, and the Return of the King being the last one, but starting and ending a series with a 5-star book is rather nice. Not really much to say about the Lord of the Rings that hasn't been said already. I guess more thoughts to come once I finish the series. There are quite a few characters to keep track of, which is no big deal. I do like, this is gonna sound so like Gen Z or whatever, but the only thing that this really compares to fantasy-wise that I have read is Stormlight Archive in scope, in world building, in whatever. So like I said, I do enjoy the multiple point of views, shifting between them, and then seeing ultimately how they all line up. There's a lot of that in this book, which I think is why I'm enjoying it a lot more. But yeah, I like the shifting point of views, and each sort of cohort is on their own mission, and then seeing how they interlace as the book comes to an end is satisfying, and I am enjoying it. Been watching the movies as well. I finished the Fellowship of the Ring movie. Obviously these are the movie covers. Oh, wrong way. Movie covers. Pretty nifty, but yeah, finished the Fellowship movie last week, and I'm going to finish the Two Towers movie tonight. Actually, after I finish this video here, I'll chuck it on. Interesting to note about the Two Towers movie. I didn't start the movie until I was about 60% of the way through the book, and the first 30 minutes of the Two Towers movie is basically the first chapter of book 4. When I say book 4, this book for, like part 2 essentially of the Two Towers. The first 30 minutes of the Two Towers movie picks up in the middle of the book. So that was interesting. Thankfully, I had read up until that point, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But just fair warning out there, if you haven't seen the movies or read the books, I was part of that minority up until recently. Yeah, that is a thing. You'll like the opening scene is chapter 1 of part 2 of the Two Towers, and so if you hadn't read up until that point, it could be a bit. There's some spoilers there, but all in all, so far so good. I'm double excited now to watch the final movie with how this has opened up. I think that will be awesome to see, but still need to watch about the last half of the extended edition of the Two Towers, which is about 2 hours more left to watch. I am liking it, although they did, obviously with them the opening scene of the movie being the first chapter of part 2 of book 2. I don't know if I enjoy how they sort of move things around in the timeline of the book. What seems to be sort of the final climax of the movie happens like 20% of the way through the book. And so they're stretching out that first 20% over the whole 4-hour extended time, and then basically telling the story of everything that happens after the fact up until that point. It makes zero sense if you haven't seen the movie or read the book or seen the movie, but I don't want to give any spoilers away, because I do think you should sort of just go into this, maybe not blind, but experience it for yourself. Apart from that, yeah, it should be, like I said, exciting times. I like how this one, both the Fellowship and the Two Towers just end on a cliffhanger, seemingly, well, not even a cliffhanger, because there's supposed to be one book, so I guess they just end into the next scene. But I digress. Sorry, a bit rambly here. I need to collect my thoughts. I've been doing nothing but reading The Return of the King all day today, so my mind is a bit of mush, just due to the old-ish style language, the heavy descriptions. It uses, I think, a different part of my brain than reading a more modern book, and I am enjoying it. Some of the descriptions are quite nice, if lengthy, and yeah, it truly is a journey reading The Lord of the Rings, and not looking forward to it ending, unfortunately. But this last book is very good, so I'm flying through it. It's the dichotomy of not wanting it to end, but wanting to see how things wrap up. Yeah, that will do it. I'll probably watch the third movie this week as well, and go from there. Speaking of movies, yesterday I went and saw Wicked for good. I don't know why I have my movie ticket still. Why would I lie about saying Wicked? But I thought it was good. Pun intended. Yeah, well, I didn't like it as much as the first one. I don't know if it will prompt me to pick up the Wicked book. I haven't read that yet. My girlfriend has read it. And she's seen the musical and whatever. So she's seen it all, and I think her and I share the same sentiment of it was a good movie, but we preferred the first one. It did, however, prompt me to buy The Wizard of Oz. I think that will be a good book to read. I didn't know it was a book. I thought it was just a movie that came out in the 30s. But yeah, I bought a used copy of it online. Should be coming soon. The Black Friday book deals did get me this past weekend. Black Friday obviously was just a couple days ago, and I'm staring at a pile of books that are waiting to be made into a Black Friday book haul video. Stay tuned for that. There's many books to be talked about that I can't simply fit into this simple reading update. But yeah, what else is new? It's officially December when I post this video. I got some holiday reads. I think about making a video. Sorry, spoilers if you saw any of those, but some holiday books I'm looking to read, or maybe just some holiday book recommendations now that the holidays are officially upon us. As far as next reads go, I don't really know. I feel like I will be left bare and really lost for words after I finish The Lord of the Rings. So I might just do a whole complete 180 shift and read some nonfiction. The Immortal Game. I've mentioned this book a couple times, but it's just, it doesn't fit on my shelf. As you can see, my top shelf is all nonfiction. This is a book I couldn't fit on it, so I might as well read it now. This is like the history of chess, and I think this will be a nice pace change. Yeah, I've been flying through The Lord of the Rings, both on audio on my Libby app with the library and reading the physical copies. That is one thing I have grown to appreciate over these past couple weeks reading The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, is I didn't know I enjoyed reading out of these little mass market paperbacks. I had always avoided buying them or reading from them because I thought they would be annoying to read from. But I like them. I actually like how small and compact they are. You can like fit them in a hoodie pocket or a jacket pocket and go about your day. And yeah, note to self to buy more mass market paperbacks. And maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Stay tuned for my Black Friday book haul video. That'll go up sometime soon this week. But yeah, I digress. The next read, nonfiction, we'll switch it up a bit. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I will just jump into a new fantasy series. I don't know. Like I said a while ago that usually in the winter I read more fantasy, and we'll see. I can see myself still sort of being in the fantasy mood. Sorry, this is like my fantasy shelf. I'm trying to window shop what to read next. I don't know. Well, I'm a mood reader, so we'll see how I feel at the end of The Return of the King. Probably by the middle of the week, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I've been rambling a bit. Like I said, just sort of been reading all day today. Darn. Good books ahead of me, good books behind me, book haul in front of me. Holiday books, it's a good time. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Sorry, this is a bit different of an update, but appreciate you watching up until this point. If you are new here, like I said, consider subscribing, give it a like if you liked it, and all that YouTube stuff. I hope you're reading a great book, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.